Welcome, Pokemon players, to another episode of Discount Pokemon DEX. And I try to give you the full picture of things. I try not to give you the rosy picture of DEX. If I lose, I lose. If I win, I win. And I've been doing a series called Put Your Money Where Your Mouth Is, and I play a tournament, usually with one of the decks that I have made previously and done a video for, just to show you an idea of how strong the deck could be, or maybe give you some more examples of games you could play against it. Decks, strategies you may use when using that deck against other types of decks. But I filmed one, and I'm actually not going to show it to you. And it's not because I want to keep my reputation or anything crazy like that. The video is very bad, and I'm going to tell you exactly what happened. I'm gonna fess up here, okay? So I did a tournament with my Sleepy Darkrai deck, and it's this deck that you're looking at right here. And in the first game, I had a draw like this, and I was pretty thrilled. It was Meloetta. Okay, you know what? My deck's a little bit weak to fighting. Meloetta, Zygarde, Mega Mew. I figured it was something I could handle. Not a big deal. I've got Mew to deal with. Mega Mew, this deep Sleepy Darkrai loves the EXs. But if you look at my hand, this is just an awful draw. There's no way to draw anything else except for the Acrobike. And I went on to lose in spectacular fashion. No problem. In that video, I said, you know what, let me just start up another tournament. And I did, and I looked like this, where I faced a Snorlax. I got some of my cards. Again, no draw. But I did get, I did get 4 Pokemon, and at some point in this game, I had something like 10 Pokemon out of my first 14 cards, or 13 cards, or 12 cards, whatever it was. It was a very high ratio, and I got almost nothing to draw. And there was another problem with this game. Maybe you know what it is, or maybe not, if you know what the Darkrai deck is. But let's go back, and what I'd like to do is take this opportunity to talk about deck building. And you know what? I think in the community you get too much of parroting. That is, one person comes up with a deck and everybody just copies it, and you give me a list. You maybe tweak it here or there, but no one, at least as far as I've seen, talks about exactly how you should go about in fixing your deck. So today I'm going to try to fix my own deck, fix this Darkrai deck. And I'm going to use this picture here as an example. All right, so this Darkrai deck, if you remember, there's good synergy here. This Darkrai Abyssal Sleep, put your opponent's Pokemon to sleep. There's only a 1 in 4 chance they'll wake up so that they can attack you, and then basically that's the gist of it. It does take 3 energy to get to that point, so we do have an experience share here. 4 of them, actually. We have 12 energy. We've got energy acceleration with Max Elixir. Energy Switch even. So let's look at this picture here. And if you see, so you know what? Everyone's going to get a bad draw. I don't care if you're playing last year's World Champion deck, you're going to get a bad draw sooner or later, because there's no way you don't have 7 cards that aren't draw support. Every deck has that. And if you look at my second game, hey, I draw 4 Pokemon. It looked great, but I did not get anything else. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to look at these cards and figure out, okay, what do I really, really need? The Acrobike is definitely necessary. The Acrobike is not necessary. The reason why the Acrobike was in was to give a synergy where you can discard this energy so that you can use, discard the energy so you could use Yveltal's Oblivion Wing. I'm not really sure we need that, or 2 in there. It's not strong enough. And let's look at our supporters first off. So we have 4 here. I just actually repasted this deck. That's why it looks a little funky. But I have 4 Sycamores here. So, 4 Sycamores, 4 N. And there's really not much else to draw. There's 3 random receivers. That's pretty good. It should get you these cards, especially since you only have a Lysandre. But maybe the Acrobike's a little bit weak, and maybe we should replace it with something else. So that's going to be the first thing I'm going to do. I'm going to look through here and say, all right, I've got Acrobike. What else can I use to draw? And sometimes I'll even just do something like this, and I'll do draw. And granted, let's make sure this is set to standard. Granted, you probably already know what you might or might not put in this deck, or what draw cards, but what cards will draw more cards. But it's good to see it in this kind of format. Obviously, I don't want TRNO. This is not a deck like that. I want to get a big hand. Shauna is a possibility. you just kind of go through. Obviously, Scorched Earth, Red Card doesn't really help. Psychic's Third Eye is interesting, but let's look back at this picture. Would it really help if I got a Psychic's Third Eye instead of this Acrobike? What would I chuck? I could chuck out 2 cards, maybe 3, maybe 4, and draw 4 more. It's not bad, and it would kind of replace the Acrobike feature. Would it help in this situation? Let's just say we had it here. Well, what would we chuck? We'd chuck all 3 of these cards and draw 3. Draw 3 isn't really that much. I'd rather have a new hand in both these instances. So I think maybe a Shauna is in order. Or a Birch if you prefer. Personally, I prefer Shauna. So I'm fine with that. So let's grab 2 Shauna. Acknowledge that we've gone over 60 cards. 1, 2. Yeah, we've got 2 there. And let's get rid of the Acrobike. It's a good idea, but maybe it's just not strong enough. When you play 2 games in a row where you have draw problems, then you really have to consider. So, all right, so we have Shauna. It's a little bit extra. How about these Reverse Valleys? Are these really important? What if we Paint Rollered one? I mean, Delinquent's nice, but I think Paint Roller will give us an extra draw as well. So why don't we try that? And the good thing is, if you kind of keep track of what you're doing, or if you clone the deck beforehand, you have a good idea of, what the deck looks like. So it gives us a little more draw. Some other cards to consider is this Energy Switch. Do we really need it with this experience share? You know what? I've done 3 cards. So my thinking is, now that I've done 3 cards, let me play test it. So I'm going to play test it now, and we're going to see how this deck performs, and if these changes helped or not. And we'll take some notes from that and then work again. So we'll play a quick game, and then we'll see what happens afterwards. So we'll be right back after a short break. Oops, actually before I do that, just want to show you. So I have the deck, and what I'll normally do is clone it and put a V2. So now I've got my original. You see there? Darkrai Sleep and Darkrai Sleepy V2. So we got 2 versions of the deck, and this way we kind of know what we're working on. We could always go back to the original. There's no storage problems here, I don't think, with Pokemon decks. So you can see I'm past 255 already. So you know what? Why not? Why not create? And then you could go back and you can always clean up later if you have extra. Or if this deck is really that much better, you can delete this one and you'll be okay. So we'll be right back. Alright, welcome back. We're going to play our game with our new and improved deck, and I'm really interested in looking at how the deck draws, if I have any draw issues. Alright, our opponent is calling the coin flip here. Tense moment, I lost. Alright, no problem. They can go first. Alright, so how is our draw? Your opponent had no basic Pokemon, that's fine. Alright, so we've got the Mew. Not bad. We definitely have enough draw here. Maybe too much draw, but let's see. Alright, so we're facing a Lightning deck. Olympia, Lysandre, alright, interesting. Good to know. So I will be giving out giveaways here. 1 pack of Evolution for every secret phrase. And please, again, okay, Voltorb. If you've already won one of the secret phrase, please don't answer more than once. Just so that other people have a chance to watch the video and answer as well. Alright, so my opponent's Sycamoring his entire hand away. Good, I like to see that. Fury Belt and Max Elixir not go used. I will probably play N here. Because I have nothing. Again, this is kind of a odd situation. Almost too much draw. And maybe, I have 3 Ultra Balls in this deck. Maybe I should consider more Trainers Mail instead of the Shauna. Alright, this is good. I like to see that. Darkrai. Let's get an energy on him. And if I do, I'm going to switch it to the Mew. And at this point, I'm fine with playing Sycamore, actually. I know I'm losing a V-Seeker. Yeah, and technically I'm losing the 2 supporters too, a Switch. Alright, this is good. And with Yveltal here on the bench, I can, ooh. Now this is something to think about. I'm going to put the energy on the Mew. Although, what does Yveltal's attack do? Attach 1 energy to one of your bench. You see, I'm out of a draw again, but I do have Random Receiver, so that card has to stay. I'm going to use, let me just think, 30 damage on this Voltorb. Does that do anything? Not really. They both do 30, so I might as well, and I'm going to hold on to Lysandre here. I should have played the Random Receiver first and made sure, select the Pokemon. Let's think. Let's get another Mew going. And see if I get another draw supporter, but again, I kind of have this similar situation, but this time I have the Random Receiver. I feel a little better. I'm not going to play it now because, yep, we're going to do Oblivion Wing. And let's get, let's get this Mew charged up. This way I can use Yveltal's attack if this guy gets somehow knocked out. I can still use an attack here. Alright, so he played anyway, and that's why I didn't play Random Receiver originally. But I should have made sure I got another draw card. Although with the Lysandre in my hand, it's very unlikely. So here we go. 2 more Random Receivers in our hand. That's good. Max Elixir. That'll help us power up our next Pokemon. We have an energy here. Boy, I wish I had that Lysandre now, because if I'd like to get rid of this Raikou before he gets powered up. Which could be right now. He could knock out this Mew. I could be in a little bit of a trouble here. And I am going to be in a little bit of trouble here. But I can power up this Mew in 1 turn, too. So he's going to knock out my Mew. Obviously, I'll put this Mew as my active. He gets a free retreat. I wish I had some of the experience shares here. So I'm kind of feeling like I need a Trainer's Mail in this deck. Ooh, except if I do Max Elixir, it's going to go to this Darkrai. He's going to keep knocking out my guys. So maybe, let's see what Random Receiver gives us. An N. Okay. I can get this Darkrai ready for next turn if I sacrifice this Mew. And I'm pretty okay with that. As long as this Max Elixir goes through. I should have played this first. Okay. So as long as he doesn't go after this Darkrai. I'm going to hold on. There's no reason to play anything here. Unless I get another Max Elixir, which is unlikely. I have 2 in here already. And do I have any energy in here? I have 2. So I can power up this Darkrai, let this Mew die. You know what? I'm actually going to power up the Yveltal, and I'm going to tell you why. I don't want him to target this Darkrai yet. I have 2 energy in my hand. It's likely I'm going to have more if he plays an N. Let's see what he goes for. I'm really hoping he doesn't Lysandre this guy, because then I'm in a real bit of trouble. Okay, Sycamore. That's exactly what I want to see. Yeah, he'll have a hard time targeting this Darkrai now, unless he's playing like Pokemon Catcher or something like that. Alright, Thundurus. Floatstone. So this Raikou we will be dealing with shortly with our Darkrai. It's unfortunate we will lose 2 Mews in the process. We're going to need another Darkrai soon. Still thinking about what to put in this deck. I still think Trainer's Mail might be a little bit of a better option. Although we have a lot of item cards. Oh, we get another prize. So my opponent helping me out here. I'm not sure if that's the best idea to let your opponent take the lead. But, and I'm definitely going to take this Raikou out as soon as possible. I'm not going to play around with, as much as I'd like to Lysandre the Thundurus and just totally knock him out. I feel like I got to take him out. Although then I'll be 1 Shaman away from victory. Tough decision here. I mean, he could knock me out. My opponent have switches here. No, I don't see anything. I'm gonna hold tight. Let's Let's take this guy out first. And hopefully that'll give me some... Oh, no! Well, that just backfired totally. And now Darkrai is in big trouble. So, you know, you play with the coin flip deck, and this is going to happen. You're going to have inconsistency from time to time. You know, I have not seen any kind of way to get another Darkrai out. No Ultra Ball. Not seen one here. So maybe I'm thinking another Ultra Ball. 3 should be enough. Well, that is a little late. And I think I need some time. Let's go after this. I don't feel like taking out the Shaman because he can put that back in his hand. Let's try to get this Raikou out before he does any more damage. Or at least slow down his attack. And these guys are weak to lightning, so I'm hoping that I played the Lysandre instead of the N in the hopes that... Oh, will he get a Voltorb out in one turn? Probably not. No, another Shaman. Okay. So lots of Shaman here. Oh, did I miss that he can retreat with 1 energy? Yeah, I totally missed that. And he's going to go after this Yveltal, and I'm pretty much toast here. Barring... Because he's got at least 2 attackers with maybe a third on the way. And he's just got to knock out 2 guys. Even if I knock out 1, the other one's going to get me. Lots of random receivers, but it's not helping me here. So early game, I was okay with drawing, it seems. There's the Ultra Ball. I did get an Ultra Ball earlier in the game, didn't I? I did. Reverse Valley. I mean, I'm starting to wonder if this is really helpful. To do 10 more damage, is that really necessary? So maybe we'll do something with that. Yeah, I'm just playing this out to see what my hand is going to get. But I don't expect to have any chance to win here. And we'll do some damage. 10 damage, which isn't much. I mean, you think about it with the Stadium. Is that Stadium really helping out this deck? Is doing 10 extra damage? That'll bring me from 80, 90... You know, it brings me to 180, so in a way it does help with maybe bigger Pokemon, but you know, maybe a Fighting Fury Belt would be even stronger. So that's an idea as well. Although with this deck, I'm almost always using these experience share, which I'm not getting. So again, I'm starting to think of Trainer's Mail. I think I need something more flexible than Random Receiver to get me more cards that I need in my hand. I'm just going to concede here. There's no point in going on and... Oh, I did not give away a pack. Let's give one away for Shining Body. 1 pack of Evolutions. Be the first person, please. If this is already answered, don't answer again. And if you did answer, try not to answer more than one. And you've won. Try not to answer more than once. So we'll concede here. We'll be right back. I'm going to go right back to the deck and see how we can fix it up. Alright, so what I saw there was not... I didn't have any good ability. Oh, I have 4 Ultra Balls in this deck. I think the Random Receiver is a little much. I think we can go with 1 Stadium and 1 Paint Roller to get rid of a Stadium. And I think we need Trainer's Mail in this deck. Oops, spelt that wrong. By the way, it's so much easier to type in... than to dig around for a card, so that seems a little more balanced. You know, 4 Ultra Balls should have been enough. 3 V-Seekers. You know, I'm not sure if I really need the Shauna as much, but I'm going to hold on to it. If I take that out, maybe we'll figure out something else to recycle back in. Super Rod, maybe. I'm starting to think maybe this Energy Switch is not cutting it. You know, I did have a chance last game. I think with that coin flip kind of hurt me. You know what? I'm going to give away another pack right now in case you stuck in for right after this break for Trainer's Mail. Why not, right? It is a main staple in most tournament decks, and it's an uncommon. It's pretty easy to get. So let's see if this does it, because it seems like the Random Receivers is giving me... And you know what? I'm going to switch a little bit here. We're going to take 1 Shauna out. And I'm going to put a second Random Receiver because I think it's good to have But I think too many is kind of hurting me in that I don't have the ability to grab these guys. So, all right, we're going to save it again. We're going to go right to a game right here. No break. And we'll see how the deck performs now. All right, so blue and white, most likely Gray Ninja, although I think Gray Ninja's lost a little in popularity recently. And I'm not sure how well this deck's going to do against the frogs. I lost the coin flip again. See if my opponent goes first. I don't play Gray Ninja, so I was wondering if there's any Gray Ninja players that choose not to go first. All right, we'll take a Mew. That's not bad. And an Ultra Ball. Trainers Mail. So we'll see how this works out. Again, look, we have no draw here. So we're definitely having consistency issues. And I know a lot of people saying, oh, just put a Shaman in. You know, put 2 Shaman in and that, 4 Ultra Ball, 4 Trainers Mail, yada, yada, yada. But, building on a budget, sometimes it's more fun and more instructive, right? If I just use that, interesting, my opponent either has or has chosen no energy. Let us see. No, let's play the Ultra Ball first, and there's a reason for that. We will take... Yeah, I hate to get rid of an experience share because it's part of my core of the deck, but we will take it out. And I feel like I'm going to be attacking early. But I did put an energy there, so let's get one Yveltal down. And the reason why I played the Ultra Ball first, get one more card out of my deck to give me that slightly better odds for Trainer's Mail. So let's see how this works out. We can play that. Yes, all right, so we have the Shauna. Very good. So this is kind of how I wanted it to work out. A kind of mix of item and supporter cards so that I can play some stuff, because I think if you're too supporter heavy, then you only play 1 per turn. You don't have any of the cards you really need. Do I need another Mew? So let's think. I want to get a Darkrai on my bench. And I want him now. So, yeah, we'll sacrifice the Switch, because I don't think I need the Switch right now. Except we're back to not having anything to draw. And I'm not going to play this Mew or this energy yet. I'm going to hope I get End. Oh, I could have played Encounter to get the Darkrai, but a little bit of a mistake, misplay by me. There's 2 energy, so it's going straight to Darkrai. And if he dies, the energy will start coming to Yveltal. I should have enough for a single attack by that point. But what I was saying before is if you have too many supporter cards in your hand, you're only playing 1 per turn. And, you need to get the item cards out, because the item cards are helping along too. Another idea I could throw in, like a Pokemon fan club. Interesting. So I will knock myself out if I go after this Frogadier. And I have no better way to do anything, so I'm just gonna... Most likely he'll be evolved by the next turn and we'll start beating up this Mew, so... I'm even gonna... Ooh! I think this is a better option. I just thought of this. What if I just start attacking with Darkrai? Even with the 60 damage, I will knock out this Frogadier, which will give me a card, which I kind of need for draw now. I'm hoping that's worth it. Totally not worth it. But let's see here what my opponent has. Maybe he doesn't have that good of a hand. I mean, I played a Shauna instead of an N, so if he's trapped with the bad hand... Although really, all he needs is 1 energy now, and he will be knocking out my Dark... Actually, he doesn't even need it. Alright, so he's got the Sycamore. He probably didn't want to play the Sycamore with all this in his hand. And now I'm in big trouble. I probably should have let the Mew die. Because this... Yep. This Darkrai is dead, and this Yveltal will be dead if he attacks. But he'll be the only one with an energy. Again, I have a draw problem here. I mean, maybe I should just go with 2-2 Yveltal and Mew, and not kind of go crazy. Because I'm going to use 4 of these, so why do I need 8 other cards in the deck? We're going to put the Mew as our active because we can always retreat them. Oh, yeah, maybe I have too many creatures. It's kind of a weird problem, but I'm starting to think that is it's true. So again, I have a feeling this game is going to last much longer unless I get a Sycamore in my hand. And honestly, if I got a Sycamore, I would play it and drop these 2 anyway. So what's the point of having so many? I'm thinking maybe a Pokemon fan club or a Brigette. Brigette might be better. Although Bridgette's only good if you get her that first few turns. Later on in the game, it's like, why am I getting a Brigette? You know, so then you kind of want to get 2 or 3 and maximize it that way. But even if I had a Brigette now, would that help? Oh boy. Yeah, this game's going to go a lot quicker than I thought. He's going to knock out this Mew. I'll have the Yveltal left. I just want to see what I'm drawing here. And then we'll go back to Deck Builder and see what we can do. But this, you can see why I did not publish the tournament, because when you're having bad draws or decks that are just stalling, it's not really fun to watch. You know, I watched, there was a Tablemon game where he played one of the new Whale Lord decks that actually did really well in tournament. All right, I just wanted to see what I was going to get. And he kept apologizing during the game. You know, I'm so sorry, this must be boring. It was exciting for me to watch, but this is probably boring. So we'll go straight to the deck here. So it's 4-3. Let's reduce. All right, so again, we have 2 more spots in the deck. And, you know, again, the point of deck building is play a game, see what your weakness is, and try to sort it out. Let's make sure we're in standard. So weakness, again, is not drawing enough. Not getting enough Pokemon. So let's try a Brigette. Do we want to put her in? Two Brigettes? I mean, we could use a Great Ball or something to call these guys more. I've yet to use a Super Rod, I think. So let's get rid of the Super Rod. Let's throw in 3 Brigettes. Is that gonna help us? Let's think for a second. Is there anything else we can use? So let's look up Pokemon. Now everything's gonna have the word Pokemon in it. I mean, what really sunk us? I think this deck's inherently slow and needs bigger decks to face off. So I want to face off against EX. The switches I haven't used that much either. But I'm reluctant to take 2 switches out of my deck. I don't think that's the key ingredient. 3 Brigettes is a lot. You know, I'm saying let's do 2. And either another Trainers Mail or another let's go 4 Trainers Mail, because 2 random receivers should be enough to help me get out of a jam. So let's see, 4 out of 9, 4 out of 13. So the odds are okay if I have this in my hand. So it's a little bit diminished unless I need the Brigette. So, and what I'm talking about is random receiver. The odds that I'll get a draw card, a Sycamore or something like that, is, you know, compared to the cards I have here. Most likely I won't want a Brigette or Lysandre. I'll want one of these guys. So there's only 9 of these out of 13 total, which is still pretty good odds, I think. So, all right, let's save this. And we're going to go to our next game. We didn't even get a pack out of that game. It was so quick. And usually with the frogs, if you don't with Grey Ninja, if you don't knock out Grey Ninja early, and you can't knock it out every turn, if you don't have some Pokemon that's dealing 100 something damage early on, you're going to get overwhelmed sooner or later. Although in that game I was talking about with the Wailord deck with Tablemon, which is a really good video. I'm going to try to remember to link it in here. It was a really exciting game, and he played Great Ninja. I thought his opponent misplayed it slightly, because I've played a lot of Wailord against Great Ninja, and I have won. Yes, I would like to go first, but if your opponent plays it really, really well, it can be very hard to near impossible. All right, again, 3 Pokemon, not much draw, so I don't know if I want all of these guys down, at least from the start. Let's see what my opponent has. Psychic Deck, Mega Mew, Chaos Tower. Chaos Tower. Does he add a Hypno to this deck, or is there going to be something like a Haunter, Ghastly? Why the Chaos Tower? Oh, good. I get to draw an extra card. Beautiful. And then, no, I'm not. I'm still not going to play this Yveltal. All right. I will play this Mew, and I will pull an experience share on him. Put an energy on Yveltal. And I'm inclined to hold on to this hand. I mean, what am I really getting? You know what? Let's play it. I'd like to get a Darkrai, so let's hope for an Ultra Ball. This Yveltal again. All right, so we got the Brigette, which is not bad. Trainers Mail. Let's see if we can get a... No, nothing. The experience share I'll take, although I really want it on the Darkrai. So I'm going to wait till next turn. Hopefully I'll hold on to this hand, play Brigette, get 3 Darkrai or 2 Darkrai and a Mew, and put an experience share on 1. So I'm actually hoping for once my opponent doesn't end me, which makes me think this deck's a little bit more stable here. Alright, there goes the end. So there goes Brigette and the experience share and our plans, but feeling a little bit better now that I'm able to draw here. Oh, we got Brigette back, and... Alright, we're gonna go... We're gonna go back to deck editing, and I think we're done here. I don't want to belabor the point. I'm gonna give another pack away for Brigette here, so that'll be our third and last giveaway. 1 pack of Evolution. Again, please don't answer if you've already won once, and if you do win, please send me a trade offer, make me a friend offer if needed. But I think you get a good idea of what you want to do when you're building a deck. Definitely play a game, look at your weaknesses, and look at the cards that were there. So let's go back and look at this. I mean, Acrobike is gone. Most of these other cards, actually Super Rod is gone as well. I think we've done a good job at getting a mix of supporters and item cards here. I felt like that last game was a lot stronger. Obviously, my opponent did not like his hand or did not like what he was seeing. I thought I would have... I'm not going to say I thought it would go on to win because it's a bit presumptuous, but I thought with Brigette in hand, I could get the other Mew out. I would still consider going down maybe to 2 Yveltal, but maybe not. I think 3, you know, thinking about it again, yeah, what are the odds I'm going to get all 3 in my hand, you know, basically twice in a row, because the first time I laid 2 down and then the third one came in my hand again. And I think again after he played the end too. So 4 times in a row and I got the same card. But the odds are pretty much against that. And if you put 2, you could easily get 2 in your prizes. And then what do you do there? It makes it a little more difficult to get the deck synergy going. So one other thing I want to touch upon was this game here. And I mentioned earlier on, if you don't understand why this is a problem for this deck, well, it's Snorlax GX. And Snorlax can attack when asleep. And of course... our main attack in this is to put our opponent to sleep. So if you start seeing more Snorlax GX cards in your meta, then this deck loses its power. So sometimes your deck can stay exactly the same. You can have the exact same cards or whatever, and you wait a little bit and the meta changes. And what I mean by the meta, in case you're not familiar, is the other decks you'll play against. So there's building your deck, tweaking your deck, the strategy in the deck, and then knowing what your deck will face. And if you're facing if Snorlax is in a large part of the environment, well, then this Darkrai, his attack doesn't really isn't as valuable anymore. So that's something else to consider. So if you see more Snorlax, oh, that's nice. Don't play this deck. Ooh, another trade. All right, 2 for 2. That could be some prize winners there claiming their packs. In any case, so just to throw it out there, you know, you have to consider what decks you're playing as well. So again, thanks a lot for listening, and until next time. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button so you'll know when our next video is released. Also, check out our playlists where you can find videos by topics like Mill decks or Cheapy X decks.